Hey there YouTube, this is the third intro I've done. I seem to be making it overextendedly long. I'm going to try and cut it down. So basically I'm back, I've completed my little my Team Yankee little side project that I said I wanted to do, just to take a little bit of a break before I go into the final hurdle of finishing my Napoleonics project. So basically I ended up finishing it really quick. It literally took like 3 days. It's now done. And in a few seconds we'll go down to the painting desk and I'll show you it. But what I just wanted to mention, that I just out of fluke appeared in my sort of YouTube feed a couple like a random airbrushing video. You know, maybe it's because I was like talking about airbrushing and you know the classic you know, your phone is always listening type thing, and so it pops up with some airbrush tutorials in the in my feed. So basically I watched this little video. I think it was about like 18 minutes long. It's just all about sort of beginner tips for airbrushing, and I think it was done by like an artist airbrushing type thing. But there's two things that I picked up that really helped my airbrushing, and I thought I'd just quickly pass them on to you. So basically, my airbrush is a Iwata Neo. It's basically like the cheapest Iwata you can get, and it's I think it is designed to be a sort of starter's airbrush, and I've got to say it probably is. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine for me. So quickly cut things short. I'll just basically show you the two techniques. So the first technique was that normally on airbrush I keep the lid off of my paint. Now the big tip was to basically put that back on when you filled it with paint, and I found that helped keep the paint from drying up so fast. So that was one big tip. Now the massive tip, and this really helped me, not only in my technique but also stopping it from blocking. Now normally when I brush, obviously this is like a two-stage trigger, so you'd push it down and it would release air, and then when you pull it back it would start spraying paint. Now what I'd normally do is I'd spray my stroke or whatever, and then I'd just let that go, and basically what that does is it cuts the air off prematurely and it sputters paint, which basically means that your airbrush is going to block up quicker. Now the technique is so simple. It's basically just hold down the air, do your stroke or do whatever amount of painting you need to do, and then instead of releasing it you just basically push it back to like air and then release it, and that actually stops that splutter. And I found that I only had like 2 real minor blockages during my 2 sessions of airbrushing, and they're probably quite long sessions. At least the first one was. The first one was probably like an hour and a half of airbrushing, and the second one maybe sort of 20 minutes or so, just to finish off. But yeah, like I say, I had like 3 minor blockages during that first session, and the second session had none. So it goes to show that little technique does definitely work, and I'm really happy that I've managed to pick them up. Anyway, that's the end of this little intro, and we'll meet you down on the painting desk. Catch you in a second. Welcome back to the painting table, and I'm going to start showing you my my Team Yankee stuff. So this is basically all the stuff that I had left over, and I think it's all from the US starter box. The only thing I've got left to do is actually my last Apache. So starting off, we have a little unit of 4 Humvees. These are kind of a sort of scout unit. Now I have actually got to finish off the aerials, and these I just kind of must have forgot about them. But here's a test one. You can see it's not even actually painted yet, so I have to go back and do that. But again, these are stretch, you know, a piece of sprue melted aerial. Very simple to do. I could probably knock out one in probably less than a minute. Snip it to size, and you know, slap a little bit of glue on, stick them all on. It's literally a 5-minute job. I'm very happy with how these turned out. I think they're really cute little vehicles. You can see that the desert camo stuff worked really well. I basically used, let me grab it. It's Vallejo Model Air US Desert Armour, I think. Let's just double check. Yes, there we go. So it's this paint here. Model Air US Desert Armour. I basically gave it, I think I used Vallejo green brown primer, and then using the airbrush sprayed that colour over the entire vehicle. Then I gave it a wash of Agrat's Earthshade, and then I went back in and highlighted it up with a mixture of the US Desert Armour mixed in with a bit of Iraqi sand. I was very happy with how it turned out, actually. And you can see that the guys are actually painted in a mixture of woodland and the 1990s chocolate chip desert camo. I think they're really cute little vehicles, and the way that I've set them up is I've done one 50 cal, one 40mm grenade launcher, automatic grenade launcher, and 2 tows. So a nice little scout unit that can be used to, you know, possibly take out some, well, certainly take out some APCs, and probably if they're lucky enough get a side shot on a tank, they might be able to take out a T80. Anyway, that's the Humvees. Like I say, just got to finish the aerials on those. I actually forgot about them. Next up, we've got a unit of 3 M109 self-propelled artillery. So here they are. Very, very happy with how these turned out, actually. Now, I'm not a massive fan of artillery in Flames of War, but unfortunately, because it's a starter set, I kind of had no choice. But these are very nice vehicles. Certainly no doubt about that. You basically, I think the ones that are available for the other nations are basically exactly the same kit. I think these also double up for the German ones, because you actually get an option to put the MG3 on there instead of a 50 cal. But again, these come out same sort of paint scheme, very simple. Came out really, really well. So this is the command vehicle with the commander's head popping out. And the other two here and here. So that's the M109s. Next up, we'll go for some Bradleys. So the way that this set comes, it comes with 4 Bradleys in total, and you're supposed to split them up into 2. Well, you can either have them as one. They're meant to be M3 Scout Bradley, so you can either basically split them into 2 smaller platoons of 2, or you can have one large platoon of 3. Of 4, sorry. But what I want to do with them is, because I'm fed up with scout vehicles are useless, I'm going to basically make this into a armoured platoon. So these 4 Bradleys are going to have troops with them, and because they can be split up, I have actually done them with the turret options. And yeah, again, really happy with how these came out. I really do like this sort of the desert scheme of painting these things. I think they look a lot better than the woodland ones. If I just quickly grab a woodland one, because obviously when I did my starter set, because I've already started to paint them green, I continued on and finished them in green. So I'll have a kind of a little bit of a mixed army, but it doesn't make any difference. So you can see here a direct comparison between the desert camo one and the woodland one. Yeah, very, very happy, basically. So that is the 4 Bradleys, or the M3s, or the M2A3s, and then finally we have the tanks. So we have basically a platoon of 4 M1 Abrahams, M1A1 Abrahams, in fact. So that's these guys, and of course the command vehicle, or the company commander, in this particular tank. And again, very happy with how these turned out. Again, very simple to paint. Hardly any transfers. I've just got like the command vehicles marked up with the upwards arrow, and the normal vehicles marked with the forward arrow. And yeah, really happy with how they turned out, and very happy to have nipped this, the American, almost completely finished the Americans for my Team Yankee collection, which means I suppose at some point I'm going to have to start doing the Soviets, and although they're not particularly difficult to paint, they are going to be a little bit more time consuming than these particular boys. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Next coming up is I actually again made a slight mistake in the fact that I have actually got a unit of horse artillery and a unit of dragoons to do before I finish my my project, my Napoleonic project. So next up on the books we have the horse artillery coming up. So that will be next on the books. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again to all my subs. I think I'm still at, I've sort of stagnated at about 403 at the minute. But yeah, very happy. Glad to get these guys out of the way. And I'll be back with the, I suppose, in maybe a week or so, with my finished horse artillery battery, hopefully. So until then, catch you all later. Bye bye.